a purist and a dispassionate point of view, no reason to stop the race.
But a lot of engines are drowning now. Arnoux has gone past with a badly misfiring Ferrari engine, followed almost immediately by Keke Rosberg with the same trouble. And I would suspect that they are both running on only 5 cylinders.
Do you not suspect, Murray, possibly that that's because they're using half throttle because the conditions have got so bad? It may be that it isn't a misfire, it's just the way they're driving the engine, possibly.
It could indeed be just that, because it affects the turbocharger balance. And that's Alboreto catching Prost. Now, Alboreto has in fact been lapped, and Prost is slowing right down. And Alboreto keeps going. I'm beginning to think that Prost is in some sort of trouble. Don't forget that we suspect that Niki Lauda's engine was drowned. The gap, and we are now coming up to complete the 31st lap in what we expect to be a 60-lap race if it goes the full 2 hours. Alboreto having been push-started. Once more we'll take the gap between Prost and Senna, first and second. It was 11 seconds, having come down from 15 on the previous lap. Prost waved his hand up the previous lap, but not this one. And there goes Senna, and it's only 7 seconds now. What will happen if the race...
As driver, it's all come right for him. He started from pole position. He was going slower and slower at the end, but the race was stopped in the nick of time. So, with only half points, Alain Prost gets 4.5 for his win, and he's now 10.5 points ahead of Niki Lauda, who didn't score. René Arnoux now consolidates his 3rd place, 1.5 points ahead of Derek Warwick. De Angelis now 5th, Keke Rosberg 6th. And that's McLaren's 5th Grand Prix win out of 6 starts this year, an extraordinary record, and it puts them even more securely in the lead of the Constructors' Championship with almost double the points of their closest rival, Ferrari. So from a very wet Monte Carlo, we look ahead 2 weeks to Montreal and the Canadian Grand Prix for round 7. I suppose one can't argue with the organisers' decision. You only have to look at the waterlogged track to realise it was a wise thing to do, but I guess that Ayrton Senna could have done with another 4 or 5 laps to get to grips with Alain Prost.
I think it was a difficult decision to start the race, but we spoke about with some drivers, but do not start the race. But because of the tunnel was too slippery, and the organisation did some job through the tunnel to put some water, and it was a bit better for start. So we decided to start, and I think the decision to stop the race was very good, was very safe, and I think it's a very good decision, and it's a very good race, even if it's half distance.
And it's your 12th victory. How does this compare with the other 11 before? Was it better or as good, or what do you think?
For sure, it's the most difficult, and I think I did one of the best races I've never did before. I did the best pole position I've never did, and that helped me a lot today because I did a good start also. And I'm very happy to win here because last year and 2 years ago I had to win this race, and I'm very happy not only for this race today but for the championship.
Just in the laps before the race was finally stopped, Ayrton Senna was catching you very quickly, but do you think that you could have held him off, or was he going so quickly that he would be passing you?
He was much quicker than me, but the track was so slippery, so dangerous that I decided to go very slowly. I had some problem with the brakes, and when I've seen that Senna was behind me, he's not current for the championship. He has no point at the moment, so I have already decided that if he was just behind me, I let him pass. It was much better for me to get some points for the championship and do not win the race.
The demoralizing situation for every team in Grand Prix racing today is that your car was on pole position, and having Marlboro McLarens dominate 1984, it looks like they can do so in the remaining races, including the next 3 in North America.
I think we improved a lot the car for this race, and it was a good surprise for me to be in pole position, and it's a good surprise to win this race. We did not plan to win this race before, and 4 wins in 5 wins in 6 races, it's unbelievable. And I think for the North American race, and we are going to be in a good shape anyway. That's sure now, and we're in a good shape for the championship, because when we come back in Europe, I think we have some very nice track, very quick, and where we can be very, very good. I mean.